And at 10, RHONDA. The following story is from user PPPoopoo624 on Wattpad. Yes, that is actually their name. I love Among Us. I love it when I'm the imposter, the subtle joy of killing my friends, but there's something creepy I discovered a long time ago. I was playing on a private server with my friends when a person joined the server, somehow in the middle of a game. Their name was RHONDA, and they were cyan and wearing a cowboy hat. Because it's cyan, not light blue, you uncultured swine, we all assumed it was another one of our classmates and continued playing. I was walking around and there was a corpse report from my friend Liam, who was green at the time. My other friend Jason thought it was RHONDA and voted for them, even though they joined midway through and it couldn't be them because the game couldn't run without an imposter. My friends all voted them out except for me, since I was the imposter, and then RHONDA was ejected. When they were ejected, we didn't get the normal message. Instead, we saw "You have made a grave mistake, mortals." We ignored it, then shortly after I fainted. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. The doctor told me I jumped off my roof. And I later found out there was an incident at my school that killed 50 students and 2 teachers, including everyone from that game. And at 9, Erris Lorris. I was just chilling and playing Among Us, but after one round, a character named Erris Lorris came onto my server. They put me in a pitch black area and then said, "Go subscribe to Erris Lorris, we hacked your device." Was this some sort of weird bot? Well, no. After they said that, I quickly deleted Among Us, then tried to reinstall it. When I loaded up the game again, I was still there and the message kept playing. There was no escape. This actually isn't technically a creepypasta because it's true. Honestly, it started this week and has become a real big issue in the Among Us community. I personally have not encountered this, but it could be specifically focused on the States, since now the message also includes the phrase "Vote Trump 2020, which makes it even more annoying. If you see this message, please don't click on the Discord link that they end up providing, okay? Just close the game and relaunch it and hope you don't have to deal with it again. And at 8, Imposter Within. The game of Among Us is infectious. It implants itself inside you with one quick match online and then grows more and more, getting bigger every time you play, watch, or think about it. You may think I mean it makes you play more, but no, I'm talking about the imposter within. It's like another personality, like a symbiote, something that takes over when I sleep. My parents recently asked me why I was up so late, but I've fallen asleep at 10 for the past week because I've been so tired. It all started when I started playing Among Us. After it blew up, I was introduced to it via a streamer I watch, but after playing it, I would go to sleep early. I didn't think anything was up at first, but as I slowly started waking up further and further from my bed, it made me feel nauseous as I began to understand what had happened to me. Final straw was when I woke up standing over my mother and father's bodies. They had a hole through their head, and I had a metallic taste on my tongue. And at 7, Silent Assassin. The following story comes to us from user 7833461254 =D on Reddit, and was honestly, in my opinion, underappreciated, especially this name. This creepypasta relies on a glitch that can occur whenever you see someone go into a vent. When they come out of the vent, they can be invisible. This is the worst on the Paulus map, where the vents don't have any opening or closing animation, thus unable to indicate when someone uses them. This glitch occurred to our author since nobody was able to watch him murder someone. Since when they did, the body was called and Red said that they had just collapsed. The whole lobby figured that that was BS and voted Red out because Red is always sus, and then the round continued. However, even now the player's crewmate was invisible, even to the author, so we kept playing, killing indiscriminately, and eventually got one in a large group of people. They instantly started accusing each other and never brought up the fact that they didn't see cyan. But this doesn't end there. After the round had ended, the author didn't get the normal victory screen. Instead, he got a message that said, "You're good at what you do. Care to join me?" with options for yes and no. The author clicked. And at 6, Among Us. There was 2 years of preparation behind this mission. 5 of us were set to be gone for 6 months, an expedition for scientific research. The first 2 days were mostly adjusting. It was weird not to touch the ground. I haven't really seen much of my crew, but over the next few days I plan on introducing myself. It's been 4 days now and I've introduced myself to 5 people, even though there should only have been 4 on the ship. Each day we have a routine. First we eat breakfast in the caf, and then we all have individual tasks that we need to do to keep the ship working. We all clock in the admin room by swiping our card and then move on to the rest. I walk into electrical to fix some wires since I saw the light flickering, but as I approach the panel I see a white blob on the ground. I turn on my radio as I come closer and see a bone sticking out of the flesh. Black reporting, white, he's dead. They all answer back. What? How? Where? Electrical. I was alone. I haven't seen anyone except Brown. Brown chimes in and says, "This? I would never do something like this. It's inhumane." Red interjects with, "What are you trying to say, Brown? There's something among us." If you want to read the full story, check it out on Reddit. It was written by Fleshwad, and it's a very long one, and this list is already long enough, okay? Link is in the description below. You can check it out. Halfway through at number 5, 11th player. No way! I'm looking for an online match in Among Us, and one lobby says 11 players allowed. I quickly joined since this will get filled up fast because it's a glitch. The game started and Brown quickly died. Pink reported the body but couldn't explain what happened, so most people voted them off. In the meeting, I was looking for the 11th player, curious as to what color they would be, but all I saw was the 11th player with question marks as their name. 10 minutes go by without a meeting. Blue, purple, and lime are all dead. Green was placed at the death of all three, but Green was not the imposter. After the meeting, I was following people around and saw Green again. That's impossible, so I follow them, but turn a corner and only see Orange. I head back to the button to tell the others what I saw, but Orange gets there first. There's no way he could have beat me unless they vented. I explained everything and the majority voted for Orange, but the game continued. I kept trying to remain unsuspect, skipping each time, but the crew was paranoid and voted someone new every time. Only 3 remained, me, Gray, and Lime. We head to the reactor meltdown, but Lime tries to kill Gray, but it doesn't work. Instead, Gray kills Lime? There were 2 imposters? As I see this, Gray's color starts changing from green to lime to orange, then to my color yellow. When they killed me, my game crashed, so I don't know what happened next, but I hope this never happens again. And at 4, I watched cams. Cameras are great. Sometimes the imposter will even kill on cams every now and then. I know that personally, thanks Lindsay. But my last game is really making me question if cams are worth it anymore. I went to watch cams when playing with a group of friends, and somehow one of my friends, Adam, ended up vanishing. No death, no vent, just gone. I call an emergency meeting and he's still in the game. My friends in voice chat tell me that he's just AFK, but that's not the issue. He literally vanished. I know what I saw. And one of my friends disconnects from everything. I freak out. What is going on? I yell. He just disconnected, man. Calm down. I will not calm down. I saw it and nobody believes me. I don't need you guys. I stop talking to them and hear footsteps outside my door. Someone's coming. What is it, Sam? How'd you get a phone in here? How'd you figure out the password to the... Oh, that's not a phone. That's just a piece of cardboard from lunch. I need to tell Doc about this. We really need to up your medication. And at 3, the vents. The vents are an asset to any imposter. They make getting around faster and dealing with the crewmates easier. However, now I'm staying the hell away. I was playing imposter a few weeks ago and I was avoiding the vents and managed to kill 2 people before they found the first body. They seemed surprised but didn't really suspect me. As the meeting ends, I hear a voice in my headset. Use the vents. I checked my tabs because I thought I was playing something like a YouTube video, but I wasn't. There was no other sound coming from my computer, so what the hell is talking to me? You'll lose without the vents, the demonic voice says again as I approach a vent, but as I do, I stop. I see 2 red dots poking out from inside. There was something in the vents. An emergency meeting is called. Brown was dead. People mention that I am AFK and can't be the imposter, but I didn't do anything. Someone was dead, but I didn't do it. It must have been the thing in the vents. I'm trying to help you, it said. The game is almost over. The bar is almost full. What do I do? Do I go in the vents or stay away and try to win without its power? Let me know what you do in the comments. Penultimately, in at number 2, Predator. Among Us hacks are no joke. I was playing with them a while ago, but will never do that again. Hacking in a game like Among Us is scummy, and I was only doing it with friends. At one point, I turned on something called Predator mode, and I didn't know what it did. It gave me unlimited power. I could go invisible, I could change my character color, and I could kill with no cooldown. I enjoyed it at first, messing with my friends by killing someone using someone else's color, or even funnier, their own, but after that is when things got bad. The hack kind of took on a mind of its own, activating random things when I didn't want them, killing without discretion, and even moving me around. It was weird and not common in the beginning, but after a couple of rounds, the game was completely controlled by AI. At one point, the character even faced me. It wasn't looking left or right, but dead ahead, to me, through the screen. As this happens, I see its mouth open and a tongue shoot through. It looked so real coming at me. That's because it was. The tongue came through the screen and punctured it, turning the game off and cutting the tongue. It bled blue. I'm never playing with hacks again. Finally, in at number 1, Imposter 99. When the lights go out in electrical, you're in for a shock. So when this happened, I ran out. I don't want to get killed, but when I came out, I saw them, the imposter. They were in a black spacesuit, but instead had a blood red mask or visor, whatever you want to call it. Semantics don't matter here. The suit also had the Earth on it, covered by a dark red X. I ran, and that was my first mistake. I knew all my friends, and they didn't have any skins like that, so I have no idea who this guy could be. I looked to unmute myself on Discord, but I can't, and everyone is complaining about how they got disconnected. Discord then closes suddenly along with every other application except Among Us. I tried shutting down my PC in a panic, but it didn't work. I tried throwing it out my window, but it just appeared back on my desk. I saw the imposter on my screen again. Its helmet had cracked and it was walking towards me slowly. As it did, it pulled out a rusty, bloody knife. The kill animation started and the imposter shot me in the chest. As my character fell, I felt my chest get warmer, hot even. I ran to the bathroom clutching it, it hurt so bad, and look in the mirror. My eyes were bloodshot and red. I look into the sink and the knife appears in front of me, rusty and bloody. And writing on the mirror writes "Appease your master." My first mistake was running away. I should have embraced my lord. And now, you will too. In a 10 sus. It started with one round. I paired off with another player to see what they were doing. We could both do asteroids, so we knew we'd be safe together. We stuck together the whole time and even caught the imposters running away from the bodies together. After the round, we added each other on Discord, but after that happened, things started getting weird. This guy, who said his name was Jordan, would berate me with messages to play, which I guess is understandable since he said he didn't have many friends. But he would also constantly send me invites through Discord, despite me saying countless times that those only crashed my game. After a couple of days of this, he ended up finding me on Instagram, which is weird, yes, but I don't really care. I didn't follow him back so I could pretend like I didn't know who he was. But he didn't like that. He started spamming me to follow him back on Instagram, Discord, and even found my Facebook. And while this was starting to get suspicious, I didn't consider him a stalker until he messaged me that he saw me doing tasks at Walmart. I was getting groceries. I fear what he'll do next. Please help me. In a 9 Osiris. A new Among Us update came out today. This is the one that we've all been waiting for. Everything that was supposed to be in Among Us 2 is now here, and sooner than expected. I log in and start to load up a public lobby. I pick the new map, Osiris, and people flood in, excited to play this new map and see what we will discover. Osiris is underground, like a little oasis that I'm sure we found under Polis. I head around looking for any hidden secrets or dead bodies, and end up finding a version of Vitals. It looks like it was set up in a hurry, I guess adding to the lore of this game. But the Vitals was different than the others. It showed the characters' beats per minute, like a heart rate monitor that YouTubers use in horror games. All the characters have the same heart rate, presumably their resting one, since nobody was in danger. Then someone's heart rate goes up. It's now at 81, and it was just 60 seconds ago. I also noticed someone's BPM go down. Black went from 60 to 40. I guess that means that they're the furthest from the killer. Since Orange died shortly thereafter, I called a meeting and explained what happened. I didn't realize that his heart rate went down because it calmed him to kill Orange. The map disappeared after that and I was unable to play it again, and honestly, I think that's for the better. Also guys, I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow on the channel. We'll be playing some Fall Guys and it's actually going to be live. It's not a premiere, so you can actually interact with me in chat, give me challenges, and show your support. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure you set a reminder tomorrow, Tuesday, November 10th, 2020 at 3 p.m. EST, that's noon Pacific, okay? I'm not good at this game and I don't have a crown yet, so it's bound to be a riot. See you there. In a date demon. I'm not one to believe in the supernatural. I play games like Phasmophobia and In Silence because they're interesting and something that wouldn't happen in this world, but never did I expect something like that from Among Us. However, one night while in Mirror HQ, I saw what can only be described as a demon. A cloud of black smoke that would just go wherever it wanted. It was yellow, the color I usually play as, but this account couldn't have been hacks. This had to have been something more. Hacks are ridiculous, but the main point of them is to use them without others noticing, not turning into a cloud and killing 3 people at once. This player was like a machine, killing anyone it could, or even at one point possessing another player's crewmate and killing in their body. I saw all of it. I think they wanted me to. It was like a weird game to them, and not in the sense that it was Among Us, but like they were playing something else. Me. And it's 7, Among Art Online. When my friends and I play Among Us, we always try to have a theme. For example, we'll all call ourselves Dragon Ball Z characters and pick colors that make sense with the character we're named after. But when we tried doing this with Sword Art Online characters, that was our biggest mistake. Sword Art Online, commonly referred to as SAO for those who don't know, is an anime where a large group of people get trapped in a virtual reality video game, where if they die in real life. These characters then need to beat the game to escape. We didn't expect for the same rules to apply to us, but they did. but we didn't know that at first. That round I was the imposter. We were all in a Discord call having non-game related banter during these rounds, when I ended up killing my friend who was named Kirito after the main character of the anime, and was black to go along with it. When I killed him, he instantly went quiet in the Discord call, which is understandable, but a giveaway that someone was killed. And then my partner killed Brown, who also stopped talking. We told them that they could keep having conversations, but they didn't, and that's when we clued in. The rules of the game applied to us. If you die in the game, you die in real life. We need to vote now. Do I try and win, or let them know my true intentions? And it's 6 stranded. We finally landed. It's taken us weeks, maybe even months to get here, I've lost count. But we finally made it to this strange new planet. Currently, we're calling it Polis, but it might change later on, depending on what Miro wants to do with it. We've set up research stations and a general base of operations, complete with a ship landing dock, because we're nearly out of fuel. We're waiting on a supply ship for more. We still have another planet to investigate. Polis is fine, nothing too out of the ordinary, aside from how it's making a couple of us feel. I guess it's just adjusting to the new atmosphere. Red and Blue spend most of their time on the ship, maybe because it's familiar, but it's still kinda concerning. We've been here for a week now. You should be used to this place at this point. A few weeks have passed and the supply ship hasn't arrived yet. We're running out of fuel, and I'm seeing less and less of my crewmates around. I guess they're feeling it too, the worry. Red and Blue are still on the ship. Wait, why is it taking off? Where is it going? Everything we had is on that ship. Oh crap. Halfway through at number 5, Purple Guy. Really? You people found a way to incorporate FNAF into this game in a creepypasta format. Come on, why are you doing this to me? Last week I was playing Among Us online. I didn't know anyone, but I was having fun anyway. After one of the rounds, we had someone join called the Purple Guy. He was wearing a security guard uniform, but wasn't actually purple since we had someone using that color already, so we just kinda looked ridiculous. The game goes on, and after getting a couple rounds in, Purple leaves. This Purple Guy then changes his color instantly and then heads to the text chat and says, let's make things interesting. The round starts and I'm in electrical. I went here first since the killer should be on cooldown. Purple Guy comes in and instantly breaks my neck. The round has hardly started. How did he do that? I set the kill cooldown myself. No matter, I finish all my tasks as a ghost and then my body gets called. I don't know how it took them so long to find it. And when they do call the meeting, there's only 3 people left. They know they have to vote, but the vote is split. And Purple Guy gets a kill and then wins. Whatever. Well played. But Purple Guy ended up being the imposter for the next 5 rounds, until leaving after a nice say hi to the kids for me, letting someone else be the imposter. I don't know if that was a hack, but it was certainly not normal. And at 4, imposter. We all know the Among Us imposter is an alien. We see this since they, have a tongue that shoots out through what would be their stomach. But what we don't know is how they look like us. They could be shapeshifters, but if they are, why don't they change their color to look like someone they've killed or someone that was proven innocent? Why did they evolve to look like us? It's not all that important, but it's incredibly disturbing that this could be real. There could be aliens living amongst us who only have the intention to kill. There could have been these imposters since the beginning of time. Any killer that hasn't been identified, the Zodiac Killer, the Alphabet Murders, the Freeway Phantom, they could all just be these aliens that have evolved to look like us, or can shapeshift to look like anything or anyone they want to, and just kill because they can, and they know they won't get caught. And that's the genius of Among Us, because it's real, and you might have known your best friend for 6 years and have had sleepovers with them, but the truth is, I've just been biding my time. In a 3 live stream. I was watching a Disguised Toast livestream. He was playing Among Us with the usual peeps, Sykunno, Valkyrae, Pokimane, and others, but they only had 9 people in game, meaning that a 10th spot was open. People were trying their hardest to be that final spot, knowing damn well that even if we made it, they would just make a new room. The stream was going until at one point someone managed to get in. They were so excited. Toast was asking if anyone leaked the code intentionally or on purpose, but nobody did. This guy managed to guess it, and when they joined, the fan also joined. Somehow they had guessed the new code too. They said in text chat, "You're not getting rid of me that easily," and this really made Toast mad. He tried to kick them, but it wasn't working, and he was even yelling at the others asking who leaked it. But the game started loading, even though Toast didn't click it. They tried to leave and make a new room, but it didn't work, so they were stuck playing a round of Among Us with a fan. The fan was the imposter along with Toast, and Toast went to throw it so that they could try and kick them, but when Toast hit the button, he couldn't unmute himself, and when he tried typing in text chat, all he could say was "let's keep this guy." They ended up closing the stream early and it was never uploaded to YouTube, but it was one of the scariest YouTube live streams I've ever seen. Number 2, fraud. I don't know what it was, maybe a mod, maybe something else, but this was not a normal game of Among Us. It started with a lobby full of randoms. The only person I knew was my friend Robbie, who was playing as Lime at the time. I was playing as Green. We were both on a Discord call, but we still played properly, only having non-game related conversations during rounds. However, this one player, White, was being very suspicious, constantly accusing people. Obviously, they were hoping others would play along, but nobody did. They then went on about how they could control the game and hack our devices, but we knew they couldn't, so we kept going, ignoring them, keeping them around for entertainment. But then things started getting weird. Our votes started to change, like I would click skip, but it would vote pink. I would vote for white and it would move to brown. However, it was always whoever White was voting for. Eventually we all managed to skip, but it didn't matter because White voted for Lime, Robbie, and then voted 4 more times at once. White had 5 votes. This hasn't happened since that day, but please, if you think someone is hacking, kick them or leave the game. Finally, in number 1, Discord. I was playing a game of Among Us online with random people. I don't have many friends, and the ones I did were all doing homework. Losers. I was playing on the Skeld, undoubtedly the best map, when I was finally the imposter. I was wandering around faking tasks until I was finally alone with White in the medbay. I closed the doors, killed them, and then vented to electrical where nobody saw me. The body was called shortly after, and before people could even say where, Lime chimed in saying it was Red, me, saying that he knows because he's on a Discord call with White. Not cool, dude. They voted me off and they win, but something doesn't feel right about this. If they were on a call, why weren't they sticking together? Anyway, we do the next round, and this time Lime claims they're on a call with Brown, which I mean is very possible since once people leave, your color can change to what you originally had it before joining the server, but it's still annoying since they called out the imposter correctly again. This went on for a while, Lime claiming that they were on a call with various players. Eventually, I got killed first. When I did, I sarcastically shouted, "Curse you, Cyan the Platypus!" But then, Lime claimed that they were on a call with me and knew who the killer was. They said it was Cyan and even made the same "Curse you, Cyan the Platypus" joke. How? How did they know? I had Discord, but it wasn't open. How is he hearing me? In 10, the first imposter. Somehow, there are 7 of us. We've been sent to a new planet, which we're calling Polis, in order to colonize it. There were 6 of us on that ship, 3 men, 3 women, for the purposes of repopulation. But I don't know how I counted 7 of us on that ship when it took off. This new crewmate is in a red spacesuit, and I can't help but be suspicious. They say that they were shy and honestly don't know why they're here since they don't have a partner, but I guess it's so they can reproduce with their children? They sound fairly young, but it's still weird and I don't approve of it in the slightest, and Mira has some odd ideas and maybe thought of this last minute as a way to prevent inbreeding. Whatever. We landed on Polis, and the outpost Mira used robots to help set up is already ready, but in need of some serious repairs only humans can do, so we divvy out the tasks and get to work. We all clock in using our cards, but Red is off to work, saying he doesn't need to clock in since he was a last minute addition and they didn't have a key card ready in time. Of course Mira wouldn't be prepared. They're incredibly incompetent and inconsiderate. How are we supposed to repopulate if we're all standing in the same room? Just as I think that, I hear the sound of a pistol loading, and before I can turn around, boom. In a 9 trial. Let's just throw him out. What? Why? If he suffocates, he was human. If not, he's an alien. Well, what if aliens also need oxygen to breathe? If that was the case, why would they have sabotaged RO2? He has a point. No, if we throw him out without being sure, how are we supposed to rationalize that? There's 1 of him and 5 of us. If it's not him, we still outnumber it 4-1. That's not enough. It's killed 4 of us already. We need to try. If it's them, we're all safe. If not, then we just need to throw someone else out. That's stupid, not to mention suicidal. Hey, guys, you know I can hear you, right? Okay, chuck him. What about you, Yellow? You think you should go? You fools, I say, as I take up my knife and show them my tongue. And at 8, seeing double. The day was just like any other. Finished school, got home, and instantly started playing games with my friends. I was grounded, so I shouldn't have been playing, but I can't help it. They need me. They're idiots without me. Anyway, that day we were playing Among Us, a game that had recently started trending online, creating a wave of distrust and anger between friends. Just our kind of game. Like Mario Party but more personal. In the game there are up to 10 players, known as crewmates, and 1 to 3 imposters. We only had 7 people, so we were playing with 1. I was the imposter, and I was super stoked, but that would soon become the worst day of my life. The imposter is basically a shape-shifting alien that wants to murder everyone. With that in mind, let me tell you how it came out of my game and took over my life. I was playing as the imposter and there were 4 people left, including me. My friends suspected me, but I said I'd bet my life on the fact that Jared, Lime, would be the imposter. And if I'm wrong, they can vote me out, knowing damn well that I would just kill one of them before they could. They voted out Lime and I was left to win the match, but instead my screen went black. I wasn't able to do anything, and then my power cut out. I was looking at my reflection in the monitor when I saw it smile. I wasn't smiling, but it was, like in a horror movie. What I can only describe as a grimace that was so evil I felt my skin crawl, and then it vanished. I blinked and my reflection came back, but it was normal. I thought it was a weird trip, so I decided to go downstairs and see if my parents could get the power back, but when I did, the power got turned back on, and my family was eating at the dinner table. With me. They turned around and the other me yelled, "Imposter!" and then they charged at me, and everything went black. And at 7, to the max, right? The maximum amount of players in Among Us is 10. There's no way you can get more than that into a game, but for some reason there was a public lobby allowing for over 600 players. I didn't understand it, figured it would be a hacker, but I joined anyway, curious as to how this would be possible and what would happen because of it. I join in and there's only a few spots left. The first thing I noticed is that the lobby itself was packed and I couldn't even see my character, and that there were many duplicate colors. I guess that it will make it more interesting, but 1000% more difficult. When the last player joined, the game loads, and I see the full lobby has 666 players. Being raised in a religious household, that number instantly set off alarms. I tried to leave the game, but it wouldn't let me, and the kill cooldown was only 10 seconds, probably to accommodate the amount of players. I was a crewmate, but didn't really want to be in this match, so I stood at the top of the cafeteria waiting to be killed, but they never came. They killed everyone else. I even said in a meeting that I would be a free kill, but nobody ever came. As the group got smaller, the noises became more apparent. The growling, the yelling, the screaming, as if we were all in hell. And at 6, the goo. Some people wonder what the imposter is. Most figure a shapeshifter, which is probably true, but if that's the case, what's the imposter's true form? I found this out the hard way, and needless to say, it's not pretty. It was a late night during the summer, close to when school would start, and I was playing in a public lobby since my friends had gone to sleep. I was doing all 3 tasks at the back of electrical when I see something come out of the vent. It wasn't human. It looked more like a sludge. I ran as fast as my little crewmate legs could carry me, but wound up getting sealed in. As I did, the sludge shifted back into a crewmate. They instantly killed me and sludged their way back into the vent, but now I see why they did that. They didn't play a vent animation when that happened. There was no sound either. They turned into goo so that they wouldn't be traceable. They continued this way for the rest of the game. They clearly won, but I never saw someone use that trick again. Was it a hack, or was it something more? Halfway through at number 5, experiment. Everyone wants to find the lore of Among Us, and the real reason we can't is because there isn't any. It's quite simple. We set up a fake space voyage for a group of 5 individuals. These individuals are of an alien race, Kerfabulon, which has recently had a hold over various governments here in the United States. We sent them out to these missions to slowly eradicate their race. The Kerfabulons are known for not working well in groups. Well, known to us, not you. And we've sent them there with the explicit purpose of having them perish. At least a couple are sure to crack and start killing the others, and then we can kill them before they quote-unquote return. There have been a few instances where the individuals have been able to throw out the ones committing the murders, and if this occurs, we let them return safely, since they appear to no longer be the savages they once were. It's a foolproof plan, really. The only thing that can ruin it is if someone blabbed. Well, anyways, gents, fire. And at 4, VR. Among Us in VR is one of the most terrifying things. It's like any other horror game, but it's your friends doing the scaring, not the game itself. The back of electrical is the worst place to be, and the devs even made the lights flicker back here so that no matter what, it's still even worse. The grind is still the same though. You go around doing your task, watching out for people, and trying not to be killed. but when you do get killed, it's horrible. They play a loud noise and force your character to turn around to see the assailant. But recently, a couple nights ago, I saw one kill that made me never want to play this game again. I was in medbay and I had just finished a scanning when the doors closed and Red popped out of the vent. They came over and stopped for what felt like a smile and then killed me. But this kill was different. They pushed me to the ground, kicked my head, and then plunged their knife into my chest. I was dead at that point, but the animation continued. They stabbed me more and more, eventually up to 11 times, and then used their knife to cut my body in half, explaining why the bottom half remains, and then brought the top half into the vent as the doors opened. And at 3, third imposter. I'm not good at Among Us. I always end up trusting the wrong people somehow, even with my friends who I know so well enough to not trust. But I still manage to get it wrong. This always bites me in the butt, but not as much as it did a few hours ago. I was playing a game with my friends when a random managed to join. I guess they mashed the keyboard and ended up with our code. We were instantly suspicious of them and just planned on voting them off because we didn't know them and wanted them to leave. Once we voted them though, it said that they were an imposter, but then the imposter role got switched to me. I saw the sabotage button and the kill button, and even saw my friend's name in red. They were as confused as I was because at the beginning of the round, I was a crewmate, but we went about our new business, killing everyone we could. When the round ended, we ended up winning, but the win screen only had the one who joined, not me, and not even my friend who was the imposter originally with the rando. They said in chat, "Thanks for the juice," and then left. I've never found someone with the name Trajectory since. And at 2, the child. No, this isn't about Baby Yoda, but rather about the baby Brown that was left behind thanks to that wretched Cyan. I was Brown. I was doing wires and electrical with my son, Junior. He wanted to be just like me. He wanted to learn everything I knew. I loved it. With his mother being gone, I was all he had, and having him want to be like me instead of worrying about his mother always made me wake up in the morning. Now, when I was doing wires, I heard some footsteps behind me. I turn around and see Cyan with a tongue the size of a python coming out of its stomach. Everything went cold, and he took my body to the cafeteria, saying that he had just found it. My main concern was my son. He had been looking at something shiny and decided to pick it up, but when he wanted to show me, I wasn't there. He remembered that I always told him that if he gets lost to stay still, so he just sat down, waiting for me to come find him. This is why I'm afraid to ever have children. What the f***? Why are you so cruel? Finally, in the number 1, Among Us. I never expected to play a real-life game of Among Us, but that was just what my life has turned into. It's like Clue and Among Us had a weird demonic baby with my life. My friends and I all live in the same house, kind of like a frat house, but we're not typically seen as morons. We had just finished a game of Among Us and I'll head out to the kitchen to get the pizza Mike ordered. But when we get there, Mike was dead. He was the first killed in game, so he was able to get the food, but then that left the question, which one of us did it? There was one person who died second, so we figured that it was Clarence, but we called the cops and they let him go. Now I'm sitting here with the rest of them, in what feels like the world's longest staring contest. Where do we go from here? And will they notice the bloodstain on my leg from the knife that I forgot to wash off? And attend tasks. I think I've played too much of Among Us. I know, it's too good. You can't play too many rounds. But when you experience what I am every single day, it can grow to be much more than anticipated. I played Among Us for probably a month straight. We were on lockdown, so I didn't really have anything else to do. My friends and I would mostly play, but whenever they dipped to play something else, I continued online. I would only take breaks to go to sleep and go to the bathroom, eating while playing, and would play until the wee hours of the morning, when my father was getting up to go to his essential work. Anyway, after that month I was pretty burnt out, so I stopped playing. But the thing is, I never really stopped. At first I thought I was sleep deprived, but I've been living the game for around 2 months now and it hasn't stopped. I see a taskbar everywhere I go. When I'm doing laundry, taskbar. When I'm eating food, taskbar. When I'm playing Minecraft, I still see a taskbar and it doesn't go away. No matter what I do, I'm living in the game. And I can't sleep until the taskbar is full. I now expect to walk around a corner and see my sister torn in half. Oh man. Emergency meeting! In a 9 squatter. The only reason the imposters are able to easily infiltrate their crewmates is because they're always there. They hide in the ventilation until a couple of unfortunate souls take a look. Then they snatch them and shapeshift into them. This explains why we know not to go in the vents as crewmates and how we instantly know when there are imposters. Perhaps because we found the bodies or they just started acting differently. The aliens sneak onto the ship when it's landed and work to wipe us out. It's terrifying because It's real. This happens in real life. Not the whole aliens thing, but the people hiding in plain sight waiting for the perfect time to strike. Be careful looking into the vents. You may find more than just dust bunnies, and probably a squatter looking for your head. Not that head. Stop it. And it ain't school. The cameras in Among Us are so good. While they may have limited vision, they keep the rooms lit when the lights are out and can really help identify the imposters if they don't pay attention to the blinking red light. But this game has not only made me suspicious of my friends, but my school's security system as well. We have cameras in every hallway, not in classrooms, which should serve to comfort me but really doesn't. But no matter what, I always feel like I'm being watched. They don't have a red light or anything to indicate someone watching them, but I always feel like there's someone who is. The day goes by normally. Class, class, lunch, class, class, and by the end of the day, someone always gets called to the office. I didn't think anything of it until my friend Jonah got called. He said he'd see me tomorrow when he went in, since I was leaving for the bus, but he didn't come back the next day. I called his mom, but nobody answered, and the office just said that he had called in sick. I think I may be right about this, so I'm going to act as suspicious as possible so I can get called in and get to the bottom of this. It worked. They called me in. They're all staring at me, asking if they should vote me out. I didn't realize my principal played Among Us. Wait, what's wrong with your stomach? Minute 7 Silent Assassin. Among Us is an incredible game where one person can go from a noob to a pro in one night, and the case is the same for everyone. They can go from killing in front of someone to wiping you out in a matter of hours. That's exactly what happened to my friend, but it changed her. This was a couple months ago. My friends and I were playing our weekly game of Among Us when a friend who's new to the game asked if they could join. We allowed them to, and they were garbage. I was the imposter with them and she got called out at the first meeting. Then she asked why my name was red and they voted me off next. Not even a sabotage could save me. However, next week she was absolutely amazing. It was us again and she did all the work. I didn't kill a single person, I never got the chance. But the way she's acting now is odd to say the least. She doesn't really talk, only while playing a game or sitting at a table during lunch or something. She doesn't talk during class or in the hallways. It's almost like she's method acting and lunch counts as a meeting. I don't know what's gotten into her, but I'm worried there's more to this sudden increase in skill than she's letting on. Minute 6, test 4587. Polis is an interesting map. One of the most brutal ejected scenes of them all. Dropping someone into a pool of lava is always more gruesome than throwing them into space or letting them plummet to their death. What lies under the lava though is probably what makes this the most disgusting thing you can do to another player in Among Us. The imposters are aliens, we know this. But what we didn't look out for are the aliens that originate from Polis. These creatures, known as test subjects by Mira, are the native species of Polis and are lava-dwelling creatures that we end up feeding by throwing our crewmates out. The one in the pit we use is known as Test 4587 and they're the most influential of the bunch. These aliens are capable of a base amount of mind control or influence, and these creatures are the ones turning us against each other. They make the imposters, and they make us feed them dinner. Halfway through to number 5, data mining. Among Us is a simple game that other people can't really hack. They can hack to cheat, like making themselves always the imposter or giving themselves a huge kill range, but you can't really get other people's data in the game, unless you're the developers. The game devs have made the game so simple and addictive in order to steal your data and sell it to the highest bidder. Ever wonder why you all of a sudden get imposter when you've called out for it, saying that you'll quit if you get crewmate again? Or why the rounds are so quick and addictive? It keeps you playing. The game is cheap, so you'll be more likely to play it, and you have to pay for it so they can get your credit card information. The game is cross-platform, meaning that you can play with mobile users to get people to download the app for free, where you keep all your important info like emails, passwords, bank accounts, pictures. The Among Us developers only need you to sell you. And if you don't believe me, why don't you take the risk and test it yourself? Minute 4, fault line. Fault lines are a natural occurrence in real life. These faults can cause more and more intense earthquakes because of the tectonic plates below the surface of the planet. But Polis itself is a fault line, at least it is to hackers. That's why they have the seismic stabilizers to prevent any catastrophic events from occurring. The imposters can sabotage this and use it to win the game. However, the hackers can use this fault to their advantage by making the stabilizers impossible to fix. Since Polis has such a big fault, this makes a catastrophic event inevitable and extremely dangerous. If a hacker does this, you can see cracks form in the ground. The lava slowly seeps out from within the depths of Polis. You'll die if you touch it, but the imposters can walk along like nothing's wrong. The lava also comes from within the vent holes that are present within Polis, and you can see the light come up as the lava rises. Be careful on Polis, it's more dangerous than you might think. And at 3, God. Among Us has no God, until you meet the one going by God. They always get the white spacesuit and they always wear a halo. I thought they were just kidding at first, that this was just a joke they had and that their friend would join as Lucifer or Satan or something like that, but no. Instead, they were the actual God of Among Us. They can control every single aspect, as if they were a hacker, but more. The control the God of Among Us has is incredible. They choose the imposters, then wipe their memory, they can instantly complete tasks, and they can even kill imposters without having the button. It's an incredible sight to see, but also disturbing. Who would have so much control? Who is playing this character? Is this the game devs? Is it a hacker? Or is it something more? Oh God, please no. And at 2, deal. I'm trash at Among Us. I can't lie for crap, and I can't seem to fake tasks properly. That in combination with my anxiety makes playing the game as an imposter practically impossible. So when someone came around saying that they could make me good at the game, I was all ears. They said it costed my soul, but I figured that it was a figure of speech since I would have to train and spend some more time getting used to lying, but it didn't. They meant my actual soul. I didn't think that was real. I thought souls were just like a metaphor. Now, I feel nothing. I don't have any emotion. I don't have a sense of right and wrong. I know what's typically seen as right and wrong, but I have no problems with doing wrong. If I want or need something, it doesn't really matter what I have to do to get it. I thought they were just going to improve my skills by training me, but that thing, whatever it was, just made me heartless. Or rather, soulless. At least nobody can tell if I'm the imposter, right? Finally, in at number 1, Burnt. It was a normal game of Among Us, a group of my friends along with myself casually playing while having a few drinks. But after seeing what became of the crewmates you threw out, I don't think we'll ever play this game again. It was the 3rd round. 4 people had been killed and there were 5 of us left. We were playing with 2 imposters, so we knew we had to vote, otherwise we would lose. The 2 most suspicious were White and Orange. They were both near the body and claimed that the imposter was the other one. We voted out Orange and then called a meeting as soon as we could. Somehow the imposters didn't call sabotage, so we figured we got the right one. But to be safe, we threw out White as well. We were playing in Polis, so we threw them into the lava pit. That's important, because after the round ended, we had a new player. But it wasn't anyone new, it was White. They were back. They crawled out of the lava in order to finish their tasks. The spacesuit they wore was melted and burnt everywhere. They were basically wearing the black spacesuit, but with a little more red, and they were still on fire. They ended up completing their tasks and won the game, but my friend didn't talk that whole time. I'll never know why they didn't just become a ghost, and why my friend doesn't remember what happened.